Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker of engaging in sexually inappropriate misconduct at high-end spas, the Baltimore Banner reported Sunday. This increases the total to 16 therapists from 8 spas to make allegations of inappropriate behavior by Tucker. All of the incidents reportedly occurred during sessions from 2012 to 2016, which were Tucker's first 5 seasons in the NFL. In response to the new accusations, Tucker's lawyers told the Banner to refer to the kicker's social media post on January 30th, where Tucker called the allegations unequivocally false. Tucker wrote that the Banner article, quote, takes innocuous or ambiguous interactions and skews them so out of proportion that they are no longer recognizable. This is desperate tabloid fodder, end quote. Last week, Tucker's lawyers provided a sworn declaration from the owner of the Baltimore Spa and Salon saying she never received complaints about him or suspected he engaged in any misconduct. Therapists from the spa told the Banner they did not report his behavior to supervisors because they feared they would lose their jobs. Guys, obviously this is extremely troubling. CC, you know that Baltimore Ravens organization inside and out. You do not know about these accusations, obviously, and allegations. We do not know about Justin Tucker's personal life, just like, and I'm not saying it's equal, just like we did not know about Deshaun Watson's personal life. The allegations are similar. Your reaction as a former Raven to this?
It's hard to ignore the sheer number of accusations when it comes to misconduct during these massage therapy sessions. We're now up to 16. It's an uncomfortable fact pattern. I can't sit here in good conscience and say that Justin Tucker should be absolved of any blame or any wrongdoing when it comes to all of this. When you have, spas in the Baltimore area contesting that they banned you from services, when you got people from the Four Seasons spa saying that you had inappropriate behavior in your therapy sessions, it's problematic. And I just referenced something that John Harbaugh said 3 years ago when he said that the Baltimore Ravens as an organization have a zero-tolerance policy when it comes to domestic violence, violence toward women. And he says that this was in response, obviously, to Deshaun Watson's suspension. Mm-hmm. And my only question right now is, with everything that has come out over the last several weeks around Justin Tucker, why is he still a member of the Baltimore Ravens? Why? If your organization has a zero-tolerance policy, if you're seeing that the player is this close to these types of allegations when it comes to women, why are you entertaining Justin Tucker being on your team in 2025 and beyond? I get that he was an integral part of your team winning a championship back in 2012. I get that he's had a Hall of Fame type resume as a player on the field. But when it comes to this level of conduct, if the standard is so high in Baltimore, why is Justin Tucker still a part of this team?
That's a great question. And I hope that the organization and the league are treating this with the sense of urgency that it requires. Because when 16 different women come forward with these accusations, if in fact it is true, that is predatory behavior. And why would you want someone in your employ representing your organization and your league that is capable of something like that? Wouldn't you want to protect the women in your building from someone like that? And for his legal team to say that this is desperate tabloid fodder, well, how do you explain the report, the internal report from one of these massage therapists back in 2015?
From a decade ago.
And I know a lot of people want to say, oh, why now? Why wait until now? I don't think people realize how fearful someone might be in that position when they understand the power and the influence that a player has and what the NFL has. It's hard to come forward with something like this because you fear for retaliation, as these women have outlined, and you fear for your job. That's your livelihood. And it's very hard and requires a lot of courage to come forward. And sometimes it takes one person to make that step for other people who have endured similar things to feel safe enough or strong enough in order to do that. But I'm waiting for the Ravens and I'm waiting for the NFL to come to a conclusion on this, because with every day that goes by, it feels like this is languishing and we're getting more and more information and more people are coming forward.
Cece, help us on this, obviously, as somebody that played 11 years in the NFL. When it's accusations and allegations, and there's no, to my knowledge, police or legal involvement yet in terms of I don't understand how if let's separate from the individual. If an individual were to do this, what is being alleged, how law enforcement doesn't get involved in something like that, like I don't understand that, and maybe that's still to come. But considering it's just currently allegation and accusation, what should an NFL team do when it's that versus fact? And I'm not saying this won't be fact.
Oh, well, NFL teams have gotten rid of players for less. And I guess that's my whole point, right? And I'm not trying to disparage different positions, but what makes this situation a lot different than what we had with Deshaun Watson is Justin Tucker's a kicker. Like, he's one of the most decorated kickers in NFL history, and he likely will be a Hall of Famer. But he's coming off of his worst career year where he made only 73% of his kicks. That's 10% below what was his previous career worst mark in a given season. And you have an uncomfortable set of facts that you have to contend with. There is a pattern of behavior here. Now, whether he did something wrong or he didn't do something wrong is yet to be determined in a court of law. But his proximity to these types of allegations is enough to be bad, to be deemed bad for business. And I guess that's my point with the Baltimore Ravens. If you have such a high standard, according to your own head coach, John Harbaugh, who said 3 years ago in response to Deshaun Watson's 6-game suspension that the Baltimore Ravens had a high bar, a zero-tolerance policy when it came to this type of behavior toward women, why aren't you cutting this dude today? He shouldn't be on the team. If you are true to your word, if there is a standard there, knowing that there are 16 different allegations, why is he on your team? Cut your losses, move on from Justin Tucker. The legal process can bear itself out, and he deserves to be innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But the NFL ain't a court of law, and they've told you that time and time again. You don't have to be found guilty in a court of law to be guilty in the commissioner's office, to be deemed worthy of a suspension. We've learned that already. Mm-hmm. So for all of the people that want to give Justin Tucker the benefit of the doubt, I get it. But that doesn't mean that the NFL and the Baltimore Ravens specifically shouldn't step in.
Tất cả các bạn hãy đến với kênh YouTube của mình. Và video ngày hôm nay mình sẽ đi tô màu, và những bức tranh của mình tô màu sẽ chắc chắn rất chi là đẹp. Mình sẽ tô rất chi là nhiều những con vật này, mà chủ yếu của mình sẽ tô là con vật rất chi là nhiều. Đấy, đây các bạn hãy xem những con vật của mình. Đây là những sản phẩm của mình tô màu này. Và để tô màu được những sản phẩm tuyệt đẹp gửi tặng đến tất cả các bạn thì không thể nào thiếu được hộp sáp màu. Đây là hộp sáp màu của mình này, mình đã chuẩn bị từ trước rồi. Những màu sắc thật sự là đẹp. Đây các bạn này. Và bây giờ các bạn hãy cùng theo dõi mình tô màu sản phẩm nha.
Em sẽ tiếp tục tô màu nhé bác.
Có 40 rồi.
40 thì mà nhà chán nhỉ.
Đấy thôi mà em hỏi mẹ.
40 thì không biết ở nhà nào, nhưng mà cũng rõ.
Làm mình không phải đâu, không phải thiên hạ lấy họ, mình phải gọi đâu.